The last thing I saw before he vanished was a locket clutched in his small hand, stuck between the cracked corner of my dresser and the dusty comic book I'd abandoned. My dad's voice had gone quiet that morning when he left for work. Mom's coughing felt sharper, more urgent than usual. By the time I found him holding it, the kitchen smelled like antiseptic and old coffee. I shoved the locket into my pocket, heart hammering against my ribs. That night I finally asked him about it, about the locket, about why he never spoke to me after Mom got sick. He slammed his hand on the counter, knuckles white. "Don't be stupid," he growled. "It's not yours to know." His voice was raw, like he'd been crying for days. I didn't understand then. The next day I found it again, tucked inside his old leather journal. Inside the locket, my birth certificate sat in faded blue ink. Alexandra Chen *, dated February 14, 2010. 6 months after Mom's cancer diagnosis, the one that started when I was just a baby. Dad had hidden it all, not to keep me safe from pain, but because he couldn't bear to see me scared. I sat at the kitchen table for hours afterward, tears burning my eyes. He hadn't lied. He'd been sick since before I could walk. He'd buried himself in work so I wouldn't know what was happening. The truth hit me like a physical blow. He didn't want me to live in fear of losing him, not when he was already dying. 2 weeks later, he died quietly in the hospital bed, his hand gripping mine until it went limp. Mom's coughing worsened that night, stronger, more desperate. I stayed with her in the hospital room, holding her hand as she slept. When the doctors said she'd be okay if we were careful, I knew better. She was. That night, standing by the window, I saw it, a distorted reflection of Echo's face in the glass, a boy with my eyes but no mouth, his smile stretched too wide. He wasn't there anymore. But for a second, his hand touched mine, warm, real. I became the person he couldn't be. Now when the sun comes up through the window, I know what to do. I stay. I listen. And sometimes, when things get scary, I hold Mom's hand just as he did. The locket's still in my pocket, proof that even when you lose someone, you learn how to carry them forward.